Yeah, another fascinating thing in the book, elephants have way more cells than humans, and no surprise there. I think it's like 100 times as much or something. And yet they get deadly cancers less often than we do. And then that's super counterintuitive on its face because you'd think that the probability of you developing a seriously dangerous cancerous tumor would be roughly proportional to just the total number of cells you have, because each one of them has an opportunity to itself become cancerous. Yeah, why is it that elephants don't get cancer much more than humans?
That's a great question, and we have to think about definitions here, right? So, because a lot of elephants actually have growths, have tumors, are just not, metastatic and cancerous, and they don't, threaten their lives so much. But to think about sort of those big picture issues, we have to consider that there's different selection pressures on organisms that are long lived and large versus short lived and small. And long lived large organisms, they have to invest a lot more in what we call somatic maintenance, which is just like a fancy way of saying like fixing your body and making sure that like the body maintains itself well. So in order to have a chance at reproduction, a large long lived organism needs to be doing a lot more cellular things to take care of the body, including DNA repair, monitoring for cellular cheating and all of that. So organisms that are larger and longer lived, more robust cancer suppression mechanisms than organisms that are smaller and shorter lived. And this ties in with an idea in evolutionary biology called life history theory. You've probably heard the phrase like live fast, die young, right? Like it's something that's kind of part of our collective consciousness, right? There's this idea that you can kind of like have a strategy of, like living for a long time and living slower, or you could like live fast and, potentially burn
Not plan
out.
for the long term.
And so there's a sort of version of this that just applies to like all life that evolves, which is that organisms, in general have trade-offs between surviving and, taking care of their bodies, maintaining their bodies, and reproducing. And so depending on whether an organism is prioritizing survival or reproduction, that's going to change how their, physiology and behavior manifests. And it can have a lot of knock-on effects then that are self-reinforcing.